One of the main questions we get, besides how much home can you afford, is what is the best way to make an offer in this crazy market? I'm Katie Zaromsky with Zaromsky Realty Group. I'm here with Bob Friel from Friel Good Mortgage, and today we're going to give you our top 5 tips for all of you first-time home buyers.
So first things first, Katie, what is the first step?
We want to make sure all of your finances are in order before we even talk about making an offer.
Yeah, so if you're watching this video, we're going to assume that you've already got your pre-approval, your pre-qualification, all of your budgeting out of the way. But if you haven't, snoop around the channel because we have a ton of content that talks about how to prepare for the mortgage qualification process. So let's just get that boring piece out of the way for now. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. What's step number 2?
Step number 2, we're going to look at some self-reflection. Why do you want to buy the home? Why are you looking at the home? Is it to raise kids, some more space, have some safety, or maybe just have a little more control? You don't worry about that landlord.
Actually, Harvard University did a study that shows the top 4 reasons are not even financial related on why most people buy real estate. Keep in mind, this step right here is going to help Katie with negotiations as we proceed to steps 4 and 5 when we're actually talking with the listing agent and with the sellers in regard to why you want to buy a home. So take really good pride in your answers here because they're going to come back 5-fold down the line.
Yep, it's definitely going to make my job a lot easier if I know what your motives are.
Now, I'm a mortgage broker, so I'm not in the field with clients, but I can definitely tell you that this step right here is hugely overlooked. And step number 3 is check your emotions at the door.
Yep.
Right?
Leave them outside, guys.
That's right. So why, Katie, why should they do that?
You want to make sure you leave your emotions at the door because you can go into a home and you can picture how your kid's room's going to look, how you're going to paint this, do the yard. But then you get overly emotional in the process and we start losing sight of your needs and wants for the home.
And a lot of time when you're looking at a property, I've heard that clients, all they hear is their parents or friends' voices telling you, oh, you have to buy a home because that leads to fear of missing out, and we do not want fear of missing out just to buy a home because here's the kicker, everybody. If you don't buy this house, chances are there's going to be another house on the market that most likely fits your buyer's triangle, your needs list, and your budget. So don't fall in love with the first house you see. Nope. Don't get overly emotional.
I would say don't get overly emotional is key for me because then I don't know what exactly your needs are because I could have looked at your buyer's triangle with you and that could have gone out the door. All right, so step number 4, guys, is actually probably my favorite, Bob, because I love being a secret ninja. And this is Realtor Recon.
Yes, I love it. Awesome. Cool. Get into the Realtor Recon. What do we do for them?
So Realtor Recon means that I'm looking at days on the market. Has it been sold before? When was it sold before? And have there been any updates? I find out the nitty-gritty details that you don't get to see as the public.
That's right. So one of the reasons that's ninja tactics, we can find out the motivation for the seller. That actually gives Katie a lot more leverage in negotiations going back and forth, and there's a ton of competition out there. So if you don't do these steps, if you do a shitty job on your pre-approval, if you get overly emotional at like in step 3, step 4 makes it way too hard for Katie to kind of get into the nitty-gritty details and start the preparation for the next step, which is what?
Step 5, which is actually submitting that offer.
So when you submit an offer on a property, really the contract is just numbers on a piece of paper, right? So one of the things that we do to tie all of these steps in together is when Katie would place an offer for our clients, what she does is actually CCs myself and my team so that we can review the data and all this, the major milestones in that contract so that we have a clue as your financial representation on really what's going to happen in the course of the next few weeks. Right, Katie?
Correct. We want to make sure that we are become best friends with you because everybody needs to be on the same page.
That's right. So one of the things that we do is we really try to humanize the offer and the transaction with step 2, which is that self-reflection stage. So what I do with all of my buyer clients is I send a courtesy video on your behalf to the listing agent and their clients, the sellers, show them and tell them how well qualified you are on the finance end, but also bring in that humanization technique of why you're really buying a home. Because what we found is most home buyers, they want to know that the people buying their house are going to take care of it.
Exactly. They want to kind of have an idea of where their home's going.
Now keep in mind it doesn't work 100% of the time, But we've been doing this for going on 8 years now, and this tactic right here really helps. With negotiations back and forth, it helps with the overall 30 to 45 days of the contract. Really makes everybody feel comfortable with all parties involved.
It's true. And going back to all those steps, it gives Bob and I the upper hand because we know what your bottom line is.
That's right. So if you've made it this far, go ahead, leave a comment below and tell us what the best tip was, I guess, of those 5. If you haven't already, subscribe.
Definitely subscribe to the channel and smash that notification bell.
That's right. And we'll see you on the next one. We do videos each and every single week. Should you want to get pre-approved, look at properties, go ahead. All of our contact detail is in the description below. We make it real easy on you. And we'll, like I said, see you on the next one and snoop around the channel.